So, you want to be a reseller, huh? My name's James, and I've been reselling on eBay full-time for 23 years. So I've seen a lot of videos over the years with people talking about different steps, different things that are important to not just running a business, but being a reseller and running a reselling business. And as I've seen some of those videos, it's all like crunched into one. So I decided I want to do a series of videos, and each video is going to be on a different topic that I feel is important to building your own business, being a reseller. And I am going to be talking about topics and things that I don't think anybody else has ever talked about on YouTube. And I think this first video here is going to be testament to that. And hopefully you'll get a lot out of this series. I kind of wanted to break it all down into different videos, one video for each thought, because I feel when people watch a video that's all crunched together, they may, just kind of miss something or skip over something or think that's, one thing is not as important as another. And breaking it down into various videos, you're going to, I think, hopefully feel and see that every little thing is important, from things that are physical in nature to mental in nature. And I'm going to definitely tackle a lot of psyche and mental and motivation and things like that. I'm just going to cover all the bases in this video series. So this first topic I want to speak of is something I've never seen anybody talk about before. And I think it's an underutilized superpower that us humans have. And that is fear. You may be thinking, how's fear going to help me be a better reseller? But fear is a powerful emotion that is really not used to its full advantage in cases like this. Fear can motivate you. Fear can make you more aware of what's going on. And the thing about fear is we all have it. We all have like a flight or fight mentality, right, in us. So fear can shut down a lot of people, but it can motivate others. The people who I think fear may overwhelm, that may shut down, the reasoning behind that is because of know-how or knowledge. You usually fear something when you don't understand it. So if you realize that you have the power to overcome fear just by acquiring knowledge, then that gives you the power so it doesn't dominate you. If you're in a situation where somebody's, say, threatening your life with a weapon, right? If you have the training and the know-how to disarm the person and take them down, you're not going to be as frightful or as fearful in that situation. You're going to be able to adapt and take control of the situation. You'll be a lot more comfortable. Same thing with when you fear anything. Learning how to tackle it and take on that problem helps you get through it. So say you're fearful of take any given topic, whether that's branching out on your own. You're making a leap from, say, a full-time stable work position into reselling full-time. You have responsibilities. You have house, you got car, you got kids, whatever the case may be. It's a very fearful situation, but that's where you use that fear to motivate you, because you know what? Now you've got something to lose, right? So you're going to do everything in your power because you're human. You're a wild creature. By nature, you're going to do what it takes to survive. If you embrace that fear and use it to your full advantage, you're going to be able to spot the things that you fear and dig deep into them and figure them out a lot better than someone who thinks that they have no power and will just shut down. You've already making the first big step by saying, I want to do this. So that alone shows you have the power to overcome anything if you're willing to take that step. A lot of people don't even get that far. They just want to stay comfortable in their own, situation that they're in. So in my opinion and in my head, fear is it's a powerful tool that you can use to your advantage. It's going to make you more aware. It's going to prepare you. It's going to make you push harder for something. But here's the thing. I'm not just going to, on these video series, I'm just not going to go by what I feel and my opinion are on how I think most people work, just because I seem to work that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this a step farther, and I'm going to get a second opinion, an opinion that's based more around facts and or at least more data than just me. So here's what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go and we're going to get AI to see what it has to say and see if it can give me and you any new information, insight on how to use fear as a motivational tool, as something to better prepare you for what you want to do, what you want to step out and become. All right. So I just jumped on ChatGPT and I'm just going to put in a simple phrase and we're going to get a response and we're going to see if we can use anything here to our advantage to better our situation. So the question I put in is, does being scared better prepare you? And here we're going to go into this and see what it has to say. That's a really good question. And the answer is kind of yes, but it depends. Fear can definitely sharpen your senses and prepare you to respond quickly in a dangerous or high stakes situation. As I kind of talked about, right? If you're comfortable, if you have that know-how, that fearful situation's a lot easier to deal with, a lot easier to handle. But let's get back into this. It's a survival mechanism. I think I touched on that. Like when adrenaline kicks in, your heart races, your pupils dilate, and your body gets ready to fight or run away. So just as I kind of speculated in my opinion, fight or flight, right? It goes on to say that's useful if you're in immediate danger. Now we're not talking like life-threatening. Well, I guess you could say that. Not physically life-threatening, but socially life-threatening situations when it comes to monetary things in the society that we live in, right? That's scary. That can be an immediate danger, losing a house. So you just got to take these words and kind of mold them into your situation. And let's go on here and see what it says. But in other situations, like giving a presentation, taking a test, or making a big decision, fear can actually hurt your performance if it overwhelms you. Too much fear can cloud your thinking, make you hesitate, or cause you to avoid things altogether. And I think that's where I made the point, the more you know, the better you can control your fear. So if you're able to hone in on the actual parts that you fear and figure those out and build knowledge behind that actual thought, not just a broad statement. Oh, I fear starting a business. No, kind of narrow it down. What do you fear about that? You fear you don't know how to start. Well, there's not just Google these days, ChatGPT. You can put any question out there. You're going to find a video or information to help you gain knowledge and to less fear that situation. So fear can prepare you, but only if you learn how to work with it instead of letting it control you. The key is using it as a signal. Hey, this matters, pay attention. That's perfectly said right there. I feel like it's kind of aligning with everything that I've said so far. If you can pinpoint, hey, this matters, pay attention. What is this thing I'm fearing? And better your knowledge base around that. Then it asked me, what kind of situation are you thinking about? Like something coming up or more of a general life question? I type in when starting a business. So let's see what it says for that. It says, okay, fear when starting a business is super common. And honestly, a little fear is actually a good sign. It means you care and it means you're aware of the risks, which helps you not charge in blindly. And that's a nice topic there that I didn't talk about. If you're feeling cocky about something or comfortable about something, that's usually when things go wrong, because you're just kind of blindly going at things. I think that's different than going into it confidently, is when you're going into it blindly, or, just like no care in the world, right? That's when you're going to get hurt. So confidence is built with knowledge, and not going in blindly is huge there. Let's see. Here's got some talking points, I guess. This topic says, how fear helps when starting a business. You plan better. Fear makes you think through possible failures and prepare for them. Another perfect topic right there that I 100% agree with. If getting knowledge about that situation is going to better prepare you to not fail at that. I want to sell on eBay, but I don't know how eBay works. When I started the business, I sat down and read all the rules on eBay more than once, just so they were in my head and I knew, because I didn't want to do something that was going to jeopardize and cause me to fail. So I spent hours reading, and seeing what other people are doing and learning that, so that I would, not do anything that's going to put me in jeopardy, put the business in jeopardy, put what I want to do in jeopardy. And here I am 23 years later still doing that. So definitely it helps you plan better. Next talking point is you're more resourceful. You'll hustle harder, double check decisions, and seek advice because you don't want to crash and burn. Again, beautiful points right there. And I think the community that is built on YouTube with resellers, that falls into that category right there. There's so much content that I and other resellers put out there for advice, because you don't want to crash and burn. And that comes to everything from how to list items quicker, what to source, to motivational things. So very nice point there. Next up is you stay humble. That awareness that things could go wrong keeps you learning and adapting. And there again, falls right into everything I've been saying. So nice little point there. Next topic is how fear hurts if you let it run the show. Paralyzed by analyze. You overthink every step and never actually start. That's a big one right there. It's so easy to get overwhelmed, especially if you have a lot of stuff. Some people don't like being crowded or, have a lot of stuff around them. Me, it kind of motivates me. It kind of pushes me. I like having a busy office, right? I like doing that. I love having all this stuff around me, because I'm able to pinpoint down to one box, as opposed to, I'm overwhelmed by all this stuff. So that's beautiful right there. So next is undervaluing yourself. You might charge too little or avoid promoting your work. So that's kind of like a lack of confidence, right? If you fear something, you lack confidence in it because you don't know enough about it. But learning about it will help you, promote it, talk about it, be more in somebody's face or more on YouTube, whatever the case may be. You're more out there confidently talking and or just dealing with the problems, the situations, the task at hand. Next up is how fear hurts you will be avoiding risk entirely. You never test bold ideas because you're trying to play it safe. Again, there too, and kind of playing off the last one too. If you're too feared to, you got too much fear to try something, so you never do anything. That's not going to get you anywhere. There's nothing wrong with trying something to see if it works. There's no, you don't fail. You just learn something, right? When it comes to things like that. So definitely always, find that knowledge and take those little chances when it comes to little things like that to help push through that fear, because you could think something's, and this is the way it usually works, you could think something is the greatest idea and it doesn't work, and think something is the worst idea and it blows up. And it's beautiful. It works. It's, wow, I can't believe this. How many times in your life have you said or seen something where you go, I can't believe this. It worked, or that's awesome, or this person succeeded by doing that. Wow. How did that? You never know that until you take those steps. So let's go on here. So the goal isn't to eliminate fear. It's to use it as fuel without letting it steer the wheel. Like, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm moving anyway. I'll just bring a parachute. Again, being prepared. Being prepared. Bringing that parachute, you're going to be prepared for the situation, which means you learned something by bringing the parachute, right? And that's all that is here. It's good. I could probably go deeper into it, but I think that's pretty much not enough for the word fear and this video. So if you fear stepping out, if you fear taking that leap, whatever it is, whether it's part-time to full-time, whether it's just getting started from, never doing it before, but you want to start doing it on weekends just to try to build you up something, a little nest egg, a little vacation money, or something that could transfer into something bigger. Use that fear to fuel you. Use that fear to motivate you. Use that fear to create something beautiful that's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. So that's pretty much all I got without repeating myself. So let me know what you think of the series. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are not. And I'm going to be taking a lot of notes and coming up with different topics that I think are important. And I felt fear is the first one, because that's the first feeling you fear, or you feel when you're deciding to do something new. That's the first instinct that kicks in, and that's the survival instinct. That's just the wild beast in us, the nature of the beast, if you will, is that fear from caveman days, the fear what's in the corner in that cave, etc., etc. But you go forth anyway. We're just modern cavemen, right? Stuck in a society loop that we're trying to make our own, find our happy spot in, and pretty much the same in my eyes. So find that fear, find what is fueling that fear, and tackle it. And that is all. So thanks everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.